Hi, welcome to Arkintel. It began unnoticed. A silent predator creeping through farms, striking swiftly and without mercy. At first, it was just birds.
Outbreak of bird flu in U.S. history is
Millions of them. Chickens, turkeys, ducks, entire populations wiped out overnight, leaving nothing but empty coops and a haunting silence where life once thrived. Over 100 million farm-raised birds have been lost since 2022. Entire flocks eradicated. Billions of dollars gone. But this wasn't just about birds. Then came January 6th. The day everything changed. A person in Louisiana died, the first confirmed human fatality in the US from this virus. But this wasn't the only case. Since the outbreak began, there have been 68 confirmed human infections in the US, a number that continues to grow. A virus that had lurked in the background, spreading, adapting, waiting. The warning signs had been there all along, but most chose to look away. Now, the question isn't whether we should be concerned, it's whether we've already lost control. Let's discuss. The strain behind the outbreak, H5N1, has been lurking in nature for decades. First identified in geese in the mid-1900s, it has since evolved, spreading across continents, adapting and evading eradication. By 2020, a new mutation surfaced in Europe, and within a year, it was in North America. It spread like wildfire. No borders, no limits, just endless transmission. Today, this virus has been detected in every US state and nearly every continent on Earth, with one glaring exception: Australia. What makes this strain particularly alarming isn't just its presence, it's how it moves, how it jumps. H5N1 doesn't affect all birds the same way. Some wild waterfowl, like ducks and geese, can carry the virus without showing symptoms, acting as silent reservoirs that spread it through their droppings, saliva, and mucus. But when the virus reaches domestic poultry, the consequences can be devastating. Avian influenza is classified into two types: low pathogenic and high pathogenic. Low pathogenic strains often go unnoticed, causing only mild symptoms like reduced egg production. But high pathogenic strains, like the one currently circulating, are far deadlier, spreading rapidly and killing nearly every infected bird within days. The mortality rate in affected flocks is so extreme that entire farms are forced to cull millions of birds just to contain the outbreak. Yet, despite these efforts, the virus continues to spread, finding new hosts and new opportunities to evolve. Avian flu isn't new. It circulates among wild birds all the time, often without causing visible illness. The real threat emerges when it crosses its domestic poultry, triggering devastating outbreaks that force farmers into impossible decisions. Entire flocks can be wiped out in days, with mortality rates reaching 100%. In just one outbreak, 4.2 million chickens were slaughtered on Iowa egg farms in July 2023, while 100,000 ducks were culled in Long Island earlier this year. Across the Atlantic, the UK saw over 1 million chickens wiped out. Yet, despite mass culling efforts, the virus continues its relentless spread. This time, it isn't just stopping with birds. Scientists have confirmed that H5N1 has been found in nearly 500 bird species worldwide and at least 70 species of mammals. Foxes, otters, dolphins, bears, sea lions, ferrets, cats, and now dairy cows. This alarming expansion into mammals signals a dangerous shift, one that could bring the virus even closer to humans. Something is different this time. Unlike typical flu strains, this virus isn't staying confined to the respiratory system. it's replicating in places it shouldn't be. In cows, it's showing up in milk, and that's a problem. Before you panic, yes, pasteurization neutralizes the virus in commercial dairy products. But the fact that H5N1 is thriving in mammalian hosts raises questions we are not prepared to answer. How far can this virus spread? And what happens if it learns how to jump between humans? Viruses change in two key ways: mutation and reassortment. Mutation happens gradually, small errors in replication that accumulate over time. It's how seasonal flu shifts year after year. Reassortment, however, is far more dangerous. It occurs when two different flu viruses meet inside a single host, swapping genetic material and forming something entirely new, something unpredictable. In 1957, reassortment caused the Asian flu pandemic. In 1968, it happened again, triggering the Hong Kong flu pandemic. In 2009, a new strain emerged through reassortment in pigs, the swine flu pandemic. Now, with H5N1 moving closer to humans, experts are watching for signs of reassortment. If this virus ever gains the ability to spread between people the way seasonal flu does, the consequences could be catastrophic. And the risk isn't just theoretical. If a person gets infected with both seasonal flu and H5N1, their body could become a mixing vessel, a breeding ground for a more dangerous strain. For a virus to trigger a global crisis, it needs to check a few boxes. It must be something the human immune system hasn't seen before. Second, it must be able to infect people and cause serious illness. Third, and most importantly, it must spread efficiently between humans. So far, H5N1 meets the first two criteria. It's new, it's deadly, but it hasn't yet developed the ability to pass easily from one person to another. And that's the only thing standing between us and disaster. Right now, public health officials are racing to monitor this virus, sequencing its genome, tracking its spread. Billions of dollars have already been lost due to the devastation of poultry farms, and the economic toll continues to rise. Vaccines against H5N1 exist, but they are not widely distributed. If this virus mutates in the wrong way, humanity could be caught off guard. For now, the risk remains low. Human infections have been rare, and when they do occur, symptoms are usually mild. But the longer the virus circulates, the more opportunities it has to adapt. And once that threshold is crossed, there is no turning back. What can we do? Awareness is the first step. Understanding how the virus spreads, where it's appearing, and what factors increase the risk is crucial. While everyday people don't need to be alarmed, those in charge of global health preparedness need to take this seriously. Because H5N1 is still evolving. And history tells us that pandemics don't announce themselves in advance. They just happen. And when they do, the world changes overnight. If you found this video insightful, you'll want to check out the Climate Crisis is Real video. In it, we exposed a hidden economic formula that quietly justifies inaction on climate change and how it puts a price tag on future lives. Click the video to watch now.